Sometimes it's too long for me. I know you can change the time. Sorry, that was a big one. I thought it took a little goober, but cannabiotics. L'Orange Haze. Very nice. Class is in session. Welcome to the Club Sesh. I hope you like my chalkboard. And little Bonbon is here. Our TA is here. Petra is here. We love it. Stuart's here. Hi, Stuart. You figured out the chat here. Madam Dram, class is in session. Jaden Buantello. Ooh, early today. Maybe it's time travel. Hey, look at that. Maybe I traveled into time because I was late before and then I traveled back. Well, is time travel real? Can you travel? I don't know. We're gonna learn all about this today. You know, I love to get stoned and learned with everyone. I just wanted to hit my dab rig for you once, but I am gonna roll a joint. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Welcome to the sesh. Hi. Hi. The sesh is about high paradox, time travel, THC, and messing with the space-time continuum. I hope you like this topic today. I really tried to think, what would the club like to learn about with me? That's always my goal with these Club Sesh hangouts. Hi, Harry. Every time I see you with that particular bong, it looks like you're inhaling from a lava lamp. That's so funny, Stuart. It's a Puffco, and it's an electric, you know, it's mechanized dab rig. So normally what you would do is have a really beautiful glass rig, and you take a torch and you heat it to a particular temperature, and there's a real like skill in doing all of that, and then you put your concentrate in there and you would dab it. This does all of that for you with the ceramic chamber. You just go boop boop, you press a button. You can even watch an app and watch it, you know, do the whole, I turn it into a breath work exercise. I try to, you know I have 45 seconds or however many seconds, and I try to like prepare before I'm going to do the dab hit, and then, breathe out, then breathe in, really try and take a good hit, and then get another breath in before the time runs out. But anyway, so yeah. Jaden says the new Daybreak is so pretty. It has crushed opals in the glass. Yeah. It's really pretty. this Puffco. I didn't know I was getting such a special thing. They just messaged me and were like, can we send you something? So I've been keeping my concentrates in the fridge. This is Cannabiotics. They're L'Orange Haze. And this is very reasonably priced, I think, for a rosin. It's a dry sift rosin. So they're starting with dry sift. And I like the packaging on it. I think it was like $25. I've seen like $22, $25, depending on where you're getting it from. Of course, we love Cornerstone Wellness. So if you live in the Los Angeles area, or even if you don't, you're just in town visiting, make sure you check out Cornerstone Wellness. They are in Eagle Rock, California, Los Angeles, just over the river. You go down Eagle Rock Boulevard, you make a left on Colorado, depending on where you're coming from. And they are right across the street from Target, whatever you want to call it, right next to a little flower shop. You've got two flower shops. You got a flower shop selling roses, and you got a flower shop selling the kind of flowers we like. So Cornerstone has always supported me from when I first was making the chocolates. They were the first legal shop to pick up my chocolates and really take me under their wing as far as like, hey, this is what our medicinal patients like, and here's how to dose. I started with cold water hash. And I got a milligram scale. I had a process for doing things. I didn't even know what decarboxylation was. I just knew you had to heat it. I found it was stronger when I would heat the hash up a little bit before I put it in the caramel. But cooking the caramel itself heated the hash, decarbed the hash as well. But you would get more of that potency when you would heat it up beforehand, right? Well, Cornerstone then introduced me to other concentrates. Like distillate at the time when I first started with them was what everyone was using. That was pretty standard. Hi, Jeff Tharp. Hi, Brian Skitch. And anyway, it just they've just been really supportive, and they carried the chocolates when I would make them out of my house for their patients, and they were I was a member. And they were Prop D. We talked a little bit about this in the last kitchen sesh, but I just want to say, people talk about, that article came out in the LA Times and it was like, it doesn't even matter. The stuff that's lab tested isn't safe. It really depends on the place you go to and the people you're supporting. Cornerstone Wellness has always had their buy, right? It's like any other store. If you go into a clothing store, depending on who's buying for that store, you're going to have a different selection of products. And so Cornerstone, they really have a very specific and unique selection of products. They have a very wide variety of products. It's hard to carry the kind of inventory that they have, right? Because, it's a lot of inventory to carry. So it's easier to just have a few things. They've got a lot of different stuff because they have a lot of different patients, and they've been treating people for so many years. So I just want to say, please go and support your local shops like Cornerstone Wellness, and help this industry grow. Anyway, that's all I got to say. I'm off my soapbox. We'll get into our topic. Hi, Grandpappy Perp. Good day, Vanessa from Canada. Whereabouts in Canada are you, Grandpappy Perp? I'd love to hear. Oh, Bonbon, she's so cute. I kind of want to lower it a little bit so you can see her face. I'll try not to disturb her. She's very important, Okay, so there we go. Supportive local. Where I get the edibles shirts. The Edibles Club. Listen, I'm getting more merch made. So just hold off for a second because I only have like a few larges left. But I got black t-shirts and I got white t-shirts and I'm getting some new hats made and I found a new place to screen print. So Mississauga. Oh, you're up in Toronto. Yes, I know Mississauga. That is so cool. Welcome to the Sesh. There's some really great Italian places, a lot of really good Italian food in Toronto. It's actually the biggest community of Italians outside of Italy, I believe. Maybe Australia might have, or Argentina. I might have overspoken. Have to check on that. We went to a lot of places. Okay, cool. Well, welcome to the Sesh. We're talking about time, travel today. I'd like to get Winslow was setting up the intro video, and he's like, "Oh my goodness, you're going real heavy today." I was like, "Yep, we're taking a deep dive. Let's learn something interesting." I like the concept of time. Hi, Mr. Lopez. Love the chalkboard. Thank you. Right? It's cute. So if you send a super chat, I was thinking like, what am I going to put here? I'm going to put probably people's names. If you send a super chat, we can put it here. Although when we go to the other screen, it won't maybe be able to see it, but that's okay. We'll Fraggle Rock Podhead's here. Nina Gregory is here. We love it. Eddie Moretti, hi. So who is saying the video looks clearer than ever before? Thanks. Good. We have a very good camera. I want you to know. And this is what was the Incredible Edibles was shot on this camera as well. And that's why I got this camera, because I wanted to go to Thailand, which just changed their laws. Kent, our sound guy for Incredible Edibles, messaged me that Thailand has now gone to medicinals. So I don't know what's happening over there, but I'll have to check in with them. A lot of protests. I know that. They're definitely protesting. So, oh, hi, Michelle. Boop. That's the noise I make when I take a little dabberoonie. I go boop. Take a little boop. A little boop. So, Club Sesh. Let's see what we'll see what our word of the day is. I just like having a chalkboard. I should put something, now that I see the setup, I should put something here too behind me. I'll set it up. We can do that together. I have a print of the American Academy in Rome where I cooked, and it's really cute. It's in a beautiful frame. There's a good frame shop here in LA, Frame Monster. If you're ever there, they do good work. Okay. I was going to roll a joint. I could take another dab. I'm always down to do that. And we're going to look at a very interesting topic today. And I asked you a question, like kind of an overall question to think about for this Club Sesh, which is if you could travel to any moment in time, but you can't change anything. It's not like go back in time and like you can kill Hitler or something like that, okay? You can't change anything. You can only smoke and observe. Smoke and observe. Anywhere. Anything. Don't get weird, okay? I don't want to know about any... I'm not going to kink shame, but I don't want to know about them here. Just be creative. Where would you go? And what strain would you bring? That's what we want to know. So if you have thoughts on that, we're open to that in the chat. Kathy, you're going shot for shot, huh? I'll dab if you dab. I'll dab if you dab. Okay, I'll dab one more time and then I'll roll a joint. I won't turn that down. I really like the dabs. I have to say, I really like the dabs. They feel very clean as far as like no combustion. It's basically a vape pen. I think it would be less intimidating to people and less kind of like, whoa, in that format, right? Is just like in a vape pen. Wow. That's intense. Bringing peace OG for real. Jaden. Okay, cool. I'd watch Thomas Jefferson smoke pot. That's hilarious. That's funny. Wow. Okay, let's go. I only comment while I'm on the shitter. I'd go back to the beginning of my lineage and smoke some purple kush. That's cool. Wow. How far back is that? What is that? What is that considered? Like, when does your look at her? She's scratching her legs. Just so you guys know, I want to do a little awareness, dog awareness talk. I'm still reading these, okay? Dog awareness talk. If your dog is ever licky on their paws, that's an allergy. And so you gotta it's hard, but you gotta wash your dog's paws when they come home because they get like yeast. Oops, shit. They get like yeast. Did you see what I did? Did you see me? I got a little goober here and I just put it in. I pulse it, okay? Because if you hold this thing for too long. Oh, is it out of battery? Fuck you, man. I didn't use you that much. Heat up a little bit. If you hit, okay, well, we're just going to scoop it in there. If you heat it up too much, I'm going to charge this. It will heat up your fucking rosin and cook it, you know? Not cool. Don't do that. So you pulse it. You just turn it, boop, boop, just do real quick, and then it'll slip right off. It's beautiful. Concentrates are awesome, says Lisa Butari. Cool. I love this little hangout that we're having here. I don't know how many people are in it. I want to see. We'll figure it out. Okay, so I put this on. Love the Puffco. That Puffco Pro design suits you so well. Oh, so thank you, Grandpappy. Perp. It's cute. It's definitely cute. All right, what was I going to do? I want the app too, because I like to see. I really like to make it a breathing exercise. I know that sounds weird, but I clear my throat. I'm going to, Kathleen, let me post that to you. Honestly, right now, let me do that because I have that in my little edible. I have a storefront. I know Amazon is the worst, but like, hear me out. They make it really easy to like connect things. So I can be like, here, get it right here. And yes, I get a little bit of commission. I've worked on commission a long time in my life. That was college. I was retail. I worked retail at that clothing store in San Francisco. Where's the share button? Here we go. And copy. Oh, wait, I want this link. And I would put the chocolates into the microwave oven. I know you guys are waiting for me to take this dab, but just hold on. Hold your tits, okay? I'm pasting. I'm copying. I'm pasting and copying. Where the fuck did the paste go? Go into the chat. Paste. There we go. That should be it. I'm so happy to dab with you. Okay, I got my little Peak Pro. We haven't named it yet. I'm on medium. Nina was saying she was really happy with low. I don't know. I like medium. You're a hugie cutie. Thanks, Cody. Thanks a lot. I'm going to just do medium. And it goes to 5:10. I'm doing 40 seconds. And here's my breathing exercise. I love a volcano. I only comment while I'm on the shitter. Are you pooping right now? It's a lot of pooping. You might have hemorrhoids if you're pooping every time you comment. All right. I just hit start. Oh, that's cool, Brian. Toyota is very bumpy. Carmen is a very bumpy ride. All right. So we're almost there. The sunset color already sold out like 3 days ago. Wow. There we go. Oh my God, that's so hard to do. Sorry, I just need to sit with that for a second. Anyway, there you go. Hell yeah, Petra. 908. Oof. I can't do that kind of heat. All right, we haven't even dived into our topic today. I've already taken 2 dabs. I'm already forgetting where the mic is. I know, 108. Nessa, you saw what I said. That Sunset one has already sold out. I don't know what to tell you. They're going to send me some more goodies. So we're going to do some giveaways. Okay. We're definitely doing some giveaways, some club giveaways. You all have to be a member of the club. I'm going to do some Puffco giveaways. She said, whatever. I don't even know what to ask for. So if you guys have a wish list, please send it to me. Petra, what are you ordering today? I love you. I don't know. What do you feel like? What should we eat? Okay. I've been very naughty. Nina and I went to Palm Springs and we got ice cream. We got candy. I ate all the nerds in that candy bag. The little nerd gummy ball things. And, Kathy Lucky, I've been on the hunt for one. I sold mine back in 2012. What do you dabs would melt, huh? Thinking about getting another copy to give my sister. Oh, Cody, that's so sweet. I really want one with a ciggy. Yeah, you can. So now serving will have more signed editions. But if you want one like dedicated, well... I'm going to be doing a giveaway, but that won't be until 7/10. I'm doing a giveaway, 5 cookbooks dedicated to the winners. You have to donate to, I've already forgot, fucking stoner brain. And then we got to jump into our topic, everybody. It's called freedomgrow.org. Donate to Freedom Grow. That's what we're going to put on the chalkboard for a chance to win. Freedom Grow. All right. I don't know if you guys can see that. And then you can get entered into a raffle to win a copy of my cookbook, How to Eat Weed and Have a Good Time. I'm glad you guys are liking it. That makes me so happy. Here it is. Here's me having a good time. Obviously, I had very good makeup on. It was very fun. It was fun. I had a great time. Rented a very fancy house in Pasadena. And for the couch, honestly, for this couch, I liked the rainbow couch. It just, in my mind, I had to put together like a Google folder of photos that inspired me for the photo shoot and for the book. And my editor was like, "This is the wildest thing I've ever seen." I was like, "Really? Oh, okay." I just wanted it to be really colorful and fun and surreal, and because I knew all of the science and everything was going to be a bit heavy for people, and cannabis should be fun. That's what I think. Loved the meatballs. Awesome. Those dabs got you fried, Nessa. That's what's up. Well, what do you expect? All right. So that's what's on the board. Oops, I keep hitting my mic. That's what's on the board. If you email me, info@vanessalaverato.com. And yeah, your receipt to here. Do you want me to put that down too? Okay. Oh boy. Never leave myself enough room. Okay. Cool. Email me there. Email me your receipt at info@vanessalaverato.com. And can be for any amount. I just want you know, we're trying to support getting people out of prison for cannabis. No one should be in prison for cannabis while we're sitting here taking dabs and writing books and doing experiments and making edibles and infusing meatballs and getting grandma high. So I gotta go because I'm on a small break. Gotta go get back to work. Thanks for having a good one, Nessa. Stay lit. Sorry. You have to go back to work. Gotta get off the shitter. It's okay. Good. Don't get hemorrhoids. They're bad. They're not fun. Witch hazel, I've heard. So I've been told. A friend told me. Okay. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here. Hi, Big Pookie. Thanks for writing down the links. You're welcome. There we go. Isn't that cool? I love this chalkboard. Now I get to have like a little, I could have put it in with OBS, the program that I'm running this on, but I feel like it brings, like, even with the logo up here, it looks so cute. We're going to bring in the browser in a second because we actually need to start this sesh, but I'm going to roll a joint really quickly before we do that. Okay. Did anyone, we did answer the question. People answered the question. We had great answers to the question. Hi, Kyle. Welcome. So we found in Palm Springs, there were certain dispensaries that, you know, some dispensaries had more flower options. Where have you not been in the world and would love to go? Oh, gosh, so many places. Are you kidding? Everywhere. Lots of places. Lots and lots of places. As long as it's safe for as a woman to go, I'm happy to go. Especially where there's like weed culture. So I've been like looking into like what would be the next place to visit for incredible edibles, and have some great ideas Also, what strain are you rolling up? Okay, so this is THC Design Garlic Cocktail. I smoked all of my flower from before and picked up a jar in Palm Springs of THC Design. And that's Bonbon. If you're new here, hi, Christina Rathburn. Come to Vermont. We have phenomenal cannabis. That would be fun. I have friends in Vermont. And you have good, like in the summer, your springs, like going to the river and like jumping in the water. It's very fun. It's like that song. I'm not going to sing it, but it's in my head. Don't let the gangsta fool you. Essay. What? Wait. Question. What are the topics today? I think I will be able to contribute to the discussion quite a bit. The title intrigued me. Oh, the topics are time travel, THC, messing with the space-time continuum. Let's talk about it a little bit. I'm sorry. I got a little distracted. Clear my throat. Okay. So it's the high paradox. That's what we're discussing. It's where weed meets wormholes. So we're going to look at wormholes. We're going to look at a lot of things. We're going to consider, is time even real when you're high? Definitely not when I'm high. The sesh time doesn't exist. Time is an illusion. That's right. And what is cannabis doing to that illusion? Let's dive into relativity edibles and why a 5-minute song can feel like an eternity when it's horrible and you're really high. Yeah, time. What else can be changed when you're super stoned? A flight. Sometimes I don't want to be stoned on a flight. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't. I just want to sit there and try to meditate. That's time goes very slowly for me on a flight because I'm miserable. And that's when time goes the most slowly. Time perception. Okay, time is slower or faster, but the THC messes with short-term memory and attention cycles, not external reality. I realized that my perception of time being stoned is not changing everybody's perception of time, just mine. I'm aware of that. There's a lot of things that change your perception of time. I was telling Winslow that my friend Robert Gruden wrote a book. What was it called? Let me look it up. Oh, sorry. It's called Time and the Art of Living. That's good reviews. That's good. Good for you, Robert. I hope he's doing okay. Let's put his book in the chat. Anyway, this was the book. Did that go? Hello. There it is. If you Lisa says 100. Time definitely slows down for me. Chat is going off today. If you want to ensure I see your comment, you can always send me a super chat. Just saying. Throwing it out there, and I will write your name on the board. Okay. All right, let's dive into things. Trying to set this up. Oh wait, I'm still rolling this fucking joint, my friends. And I want to make sure the browser is connected to the right browser. Okay, so we're going to talk about time on weed, right? Okay, what's happening in the chat? What we're talking about there, right? Studies actually show that THC messes with your internal clock. So people consistently overestimate how much time has passed when high, which makes sense. But let's look at some of these studies. I just want to put it here and see if this is what comes up. Oh, thank you, Eddie Moretti, kicking it off. Thank you. I'm going to write your name on the board. Double check the spelling. There you go. Thank you. Bonbon says thank you very much. All right, let me change this over to the browser. There you go. There we go. Thank you. We can still see the sash. Says thank you very much. All right, let me change this over to the browser. And we'll go back to that later. There we go. I haven't ordered any food yet, you guys, but that's okay. You can still see the I will survive. Thank you very much. But where's my chat? There it is. All right, let me change this over to the browser. Moving things around on. We'll go back to that later. Desktop. There we go. I haven't ordered any food yet, you guys, but that's okay. I love this new computer set. I will survive. Thank you very much. So we have a very all right, let me change this over to the browser. Hi, Big Pookie. There you go. Say thank you to Eddie. I haven't ordered any food yet, you guys, but that's okay. I love this new computer. Hi, Natalie. So we have a very audio interesting over to the browser. Hi, Big Pookie. I'm sorry. You know what it was? My bad. That was my bad. My bad. Thank you, Madam Dram. That's why you're an edibles producer. Thank you. It's my fault. Too many Vanessa. Okay, stop. It's time travel. We're traveling. No. We're time traveling. I know. You were hearing everything twice. It was the Chrome audio. I'll show you. It's going to be trippy. See, we turned it off. But it's that. Zoom. It shouldn't be on any other places. Time travel into the stream with this delay. Is this still happening? Please let me know. I don't want to do anything. I'm just going to sit here because I just switched over to browser. We can always go back to the main. I can also get rid of that. Let's just do that. Okay. All right. I think it's okay. And I'm not going to turn on the audio yet. Audio's Gucci, says. Thank you. Gucci. Andiamo. Okay. Acute effects of THC on time perception in frequent and infrequent cannabis users. Well, we know which one I am. Which one are you? Tell me. Should we do a poll? Let's do a poll. Are you, are you, which cannabis user are you? I want to know. Frequent. What does frequent mean? What the hell does frequent mean? We'll say at least a couple, a daily user. Infrequent. Okay, let's read this. Cannabinoids have been shown to alter time perception, but existing literature has several limitations. Few studies have included both time estimation. Where's my logo? Oh, it's right there. That's fine. Time estimation. Where the fuck did I go? Blah, blah, blah. Pharmacokinetics, and some use whole plant cannabis THC are study attempts to address these limitations. To characterize the acute effects of THC on seconds range time perception, THC was hypothesized to produce transient dose-related time overestimation and underproduction. IV THC was administered at doses of 0.015 milligrams per kilogram. Who participated? Okay. Oh, so they did even with the placebo-controlled studies. That's interesting. Visual time estimation and production tests in the seconds range were presented to subjects 3 times on each test daily. That's hilarious. All doses induced. I wonder what those tests were. All doses induced time overestimation and underproduction. Chronic cannabis use had no effect on baseline time perception. So it doesn't matter. While infrequent non-smokers showed temporal overestimation at medium-high doses and temporal underproduction at all doses, frequent cannabis users showed no difference. THC effects on time perception were not dose-related. Conclusions. A psychoactive dose of THC increases internal clock speed as indicated by time overestimation and underproduction. This effect is not dose-related, is blunted in chronic cannabis smokers who did not otherwise have altered baseline time perception. So it doesn't matter if you smoke a lot. You're always going to have this like time, whatever. Says these people. So they say. They had a pretty good, seemed pretty good, this study. All right, let's look at something else. What's the chat saying? You guys are funny. Habitual, frequent. Love it. Any days. All the days. All the days. I want to look at another geeky thing, okay? Oh, wait. No, it didn't work. Let me click this and see if it works here. Author manuscript. Oh wait, I can't do it that way. Sorry, you guys. Is the chat going off? Is it going off? Hi, Claudine. Whoa. What are you woeing? What are we woeing? Is this the same one? It's the same. I thought it's the different article. It's not a different article. Shit. Do. We're going to look at this Guardian article. I feel like I've seen this before. Okay. Time flies when you're in. This is what the Robert Gruden's book says. Time flies when you're in a boring routine, according to research, which shows that new experiences from foreign travel to a walk in nature can alter our perception of time. It's the time of the year for endless cliches, from 'tis the season and the gift that keeps on giving to New Year, New You. That's nowhere to hide from tired old phrases. There's nowhere. Sorry, I'm a little stoned. And I didn't finish rolling my joint. I want to watch a video. I'm going to pull up a video. 1 second. Let's learn about wormholes. This is what I want to learn about. We're going to learn a little bit about what the fuck is going on with wormholes. Oh, wait. Let me put my AirPods in. Interesting. They built webs that are disorganized in what's going on. THC exposure in spiders. They got disorganized and incomplete. I don't believe you. I thought insects don't have endocannabinoid systems. You're funny. Okay, let me turn on the Chrome audio. So tell me if this is okay. I'm turning this on. Oop, shit. So you see that. I want to make this bigger for you. Let me put this down. We're going to learn about wormholes. I think that size. There we go. And let me get the chat. I just want to be able to see what you guys are saying. Bye, Harry. Bye, Harry. I'm trying to do important work, Nina. We're trying to learn. I want to learn about wormholes. I know nothing about wormholes. Raise your hand. Okay, so we're frequent users here, most of us. Good to know. Good to know. We're going to learn from this.
If you saw a wormhole...
Oh, wait. I can't hear it. Let me connect. Bluetooth. No, this is the Wi-Fi. Airplane. There we go. Thank you. I like this computer. Hello, how did I find you? Wicked. Hi, Ann McPherson. Welcome to the sesh. We're about to learn about wormholes, and I'm going to finish rolling this joint, I swear. Hi, JL Sanders. What the fuck is up? We're about to learn about wormholes. Oh, shit. Oh, Bonbon went to the floor. I'm not going to turn this off. I'm just going to move it to the side because, you know, she'll be back. But right now, she's not interested. I also haven't ordered food yet. I don't know what to get. Nina, if you have suggestions of what to order, please let me know. Or anyone else. Okay, let's listen to this. Oh, wait. Hi, Christian. Oh, my gosh. I was wondering where you were. I was hoping. Oh, my God. Fraggle Rock Pothead, too. Okay. I said I was writing your names on the board. Hopefully, I have enough room. See, I told you she'd be back. You can see her legs. There she is. I just trimmed her tail today. Is it a double R? Yes. And there we go. I gotta move it now, the camera. Fraggle Rock Pawhead. Cool. All right. There you go. Yes. You can see here. I'll go to main. You can see. It's a little messy. All right. There she there she is with her flipped ear. I told you she'd be back. Look at her. I'm not going to bother her. I'm not going to do a thing. Normally I would fix that ear, but we're just going to let her be. She's very cozy. She's very happy. Order some pasta. Oh, that's an interesting idea. I don't ever order pasta, Alex, because I just can make, I don't know why I'm whispering, but I think I'm whispering because of Bonbon. I'm like, oh, she's sitting in her bed. Yeah, I could order pasta. That could be nice. I was thinking maybe pizza. Zanku. I don't want chicken. I don't know why I don't want chicken. It's healthy. Look at my elbows. You can see them. Okay, let's watch this. Anyone ever seen Interstellar? They use real physics for the wormholes, and they even called up a famous physicist for it. Yes. Okay, let's watch about wormholes, and then I'm going to think about what to get.
In reality, it would appear round, spherical, a bit like a black hole.
It's not connected. It lied to me. Connect. Okay. Play. I know you guys can hear it. I can't hear it. This is really annoying. It's saying it's it's connecting. Maybe I need to hold this down. Yeah, it says it can't connect. 1 second, you guys. My AirPods are going, so I don't know why the computer is saying it's not connecting. Okay, 1 second. I have to go get the AirPod Max, I guess. I don't like those as much. It doesn't want to connect to the AirPods. BRB, okay? Ice cream cake. Petra, I need to eat, I think I need dinner tonight. I've been eating a lot of dessert. Okay. Okay. Are you getting double audio? I wonder if I can just... I'm turning off the audio on it. Off. Okay, cool. Let me see if it works.
If you saw a wormhole...
Why can't I hear it still, though? That's so annoying. Do a reset. I know. I'm sorry. Neither one of my... And it's running out of battery. I just don't know why these aren't working. It says connecting. Oh, it says connected. AirPods Pro connected.
In reality, it would appear round, spherical.
Shit. I hate it. Ah! I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry, you guys. It says it's connected. And this, it says, is connected on the mic, and I don't want it to be. Yeah, now it's not connected. But it says my AirPods Pro are. But this video...
A bit like a black...
I can't hear anything. But you guys can?
hole.
Yes. I'm just going to turn on the closed captions.
Light.
Okay, can we start at the beginning? I'm sorry. I need to read the captions. Okay? And for some reason these aren't working for me. I'm going to just plug them in. And maybe if they charge for a little bit, they'll work better. I mean, they've been charging. I charged them all day, so they should be totally... I don't want to use these because they want to use the Max as a mic, and I don't want it to be used as a mic. I'm just going to read it.
If you saw a wormhole in reality, it would appear round, spherical, a bit like a black hole.
Here.
Light from the other side passes through and gives you a window to a faraway
I'm going to turn it down just a slight bit.
place. Once crossed, the other side comes for the interview, with your old home now receding into that shimmering spherical window. But are wormholes real, or are they just magic disguised as physics and maths? If they are real, how do they work, and where can we find them?
Haven't they found wormholes? Or a black hole? That's not maybe what a wormhole is.
For most of human history, we thought space was pretty simple. A big, flat stage where the events of the universe unfold. Even if you take down the set of planets and stars, there's still something left. That empty stage is space, and it exists.
Right.
Unchanging and eternal. Einstein's theory of relativity changed that. It says that space and time make up that stage together, and they aren't the same everywhere. The things on the stage can affect the stage itself, stretching and warping it. If the old stage was like unmoving hardwood, Einstein's stage is more like a waterbed. This kind of elastic space can be bent and maybe even torn and patched together,
Wormholes.
which could make wormholes possible. Let's see what that would look like in 2D. Our universe is like a big flat
I
sheet.
think I need pizza
Bent in
to
just
do
the right
this.
way, wormholes could connect two very, very distant spots with a short bridge that you could cross almost instantaneously.
I'm going to pause it for a second because I want to check the chat. Okay, we're all good. 8-cut double cheese slice char. I know I do need a pizza. I think I need a pizza.
Enabling you to travel the universe even faster than the speed of light. So, where can we find a wormhole?
Can we find a wormhole?
Presently, only on paper. General relativity says they might be possible, but that doesn't mean they have to exist. General relativity.
You can't hear me? I mean, this is as loud as I can be. I'm also not shouting. I can try like this. Is this better? I don't think so. Tell me. A. This is A. This is A. This is B. This is B. This is A. This is A. This is A. And this is B. This is B. Tell me which one. I think A. Okay, A. Good. I'm glad we solved that. Pizza. Thanks, Madam Jam. C. See, you're so funny, Pete. Okay. A is better. I'm glad for this mic. It's better to just fucking. General relativity is a mathematical theory. All right, we're going to finish this video. I'm going to finish rolling this joint, and then I'm going to order some freaking pizza, I think. Or I wanted chicken wings, like Kyo-chan. I could do that. We could do that. Maybe we'll do that. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Korean fried chicken wings? I've been craving that. It is a little messy, though. It's messy. Shrimp chicken pad thai. What kind of pizza? A pizza. I think we're going to do pizza. I think I've kind of like set you guys up for pizza. I usually get triple beam, but it feels a little bit boring right now. There's this other place that looks interesting. It's going to take a little bit longer. There's also Naughty Pie Nature. That's interesting. And let's see. Chicken wings with lied. What? Keef. Oh, yeah, those were good. Those were really good. Dookie Hong's episode. Those were wild. They were tasty. I think I want to try barbecue chicken pizza is good. Ooh. Chicken quesadilla instead. Should I try somewhere new or should I just go where I normally go? I just wish that wasn't going to take so long. This is like a deep dish pizza. I can't do a deep dish. That doesn't feel right. That doesn't feel right. It's also probably quiet. I don't know if I can do pizza. Because I'm just going to get the place I always go if I do it. And I feel like that's going to be disappointing for everyone. Pizza sounds good. No, everyone's convinced now. The place, thin crust, says Petra. Thin crust. They have Pizza Al Taglio close by. And then, like, the thin crust isn't going to be, like... Okay, fine. I'll try something new because Petra's encouraging me. We'll try it. We'll try a Napolitana. We'll try this place that is from supposedly Napolitana. I want to look at it. I need to read about this fucking place. Like, who owns it? Do you know what I mean? Spaghetti and meatballs pizza. Halloween. I'm very Italian. Do we need to explain wormholes, though? Society of High Sciences. Yes, we do. Korean fried wings. Oh, shit. All right, Kathy. Kathy's spoken. We're done. We're done. You want me to get kyochon? I will do that right now. I have been craving them. You don't have to tell me. You don't have to tell me. Okay, so, and I want to get the French fries. I'm going to get more pieces than I wasn't going to get before. Because now Kathy has spoken. Wait, and I'm going to put your name on the board. Don't you worry. Fraggle Rock, you're so funny. Okay, so I'm getting kyochon. Los Angeles has a legendary K-Town. Like, our Korean food here is excellent. So I'm happy to get Korean fried chicken anytime. Yeah, Kathy does rule. It's Kathy with a C, though. Okay, well, let's say her name correct, please. Okay, so I'm going to get 8 pieces of soy garlic. I think I should get 8 pieces of red hot, 8 pieces of honey. And that's it, right? It's 24 pieces. 8 times 3 is 24. And I want fries. Yes, I do. What should I get? Potato wedges? I'm not getting sweet potato fries. Forget about it. Cheese stick or French fries. I'm going to get potato wedges. Seems like the thing to do. So I'm sorry, I'm not taking your opinion on that. Korean tacos downtown are bomb. Can't remember the name of the spot. Yum. I love tacos. I'm going to add this to the order. I'm not going to do a cheese ball. I don't think I need to do that. I got some chicken. I got some potatoes. I need a beverage. It's not very healthy, but that's okay. I did exercise today. I was proud of myself. I did HIIT workout. They only have Pepsi. I can make an Arnold Palmer. Garlic potato wedges. They didn't have, I don't think they had garlic potato wedges, Ohio Gamers. Garlic parm. Lemonade to drink. They only have water or Pepsi. Should I just get a Pepsi? Diet Pepsi. Ooh, they have a Crush Orange. They have what the fuck is a Starry? We need to look something up right now. What's a Starry soda? Starry is a lemon lime soda. Well, we definitely need to try that because I've never had it. Cool. Okay, so I'm getting a Starry. Dipping sauces. Yep, I want that. The Kyochon Red. Ranch, honey mustard, Kyochon sweet chili. I want that. And I want the I want something else though, but not both the same. Damn it. Select one. But like what, it won't let me select. I'll select. Okay, so I'm going to select 2, right? And then it says special instructions. So I'm going to select ranch, obviously. And I'm going to say, can you give me the Kyochon red? Or I'm going to say Kyochon sweet chili. Because I want it for the ugh, god damn it. They won't let me do a special request. So I'm just going to get ranch. Bummer. Okay. We're going to add that to the order. I don't want any rice. We're done here. We're done here. Thank you for helping me, everyone. This was a group effort. Cool. Cool. Pepsi Sprite. Well, I've never tried it. Verdant Square Network. Never tried it before. Now I'm going to try it. CH. I always I know Kathy's name, but I just sometimes, well, we're just going to do. Comme ça. Oh, bye, Christian. Well, we were learning about wormholes. Thank you so much for your contribution. I hope you're doing well. And it was nice to see you in the chat. We hope to see you again. Come for a kitchen sesh on a Saturday if you ever have time. Come watch the cooking go down. Koji taco, yum. Oh yeah, that sounds really good. Korean tacos just make sense. It's just yes. Yes. Uh-huh. Okay, let's keep watching this. I'm going to roll my joint.
Relativity
Food
is a
disorder.
mathematical theory.
happy
It's a
for
set of
us.
equations that have many possible answers, but not all maths describes reality. But they are theoretically possible, and there are different kinds. The first kind of wormholes to be theorized were Einstein-Rosen bridges. They describe every black hole as a sort of portal to an infinite parallel universe. Let's try to picture them in 2D again. Empty space-time is flat, but curved by objects on it. If we compress that object, space-time gets more curved around it.
Well, I'll let you know what I think of it.
Eventually, space-time becomes so warped that it has no choice but to collapse into a black hole. A one-way barrier forms, the event horizon, which anything can enter, but nothing can escape, trapped forever at the singularity at its core. But maybe there is no singularity here.
Oh my god, I haven't even been paying attention.
Is that the other side of the event horizon looks a bit like our universe again, but mirrored upside down, where time runs backwards. In our universe, things fall into the black hole.
You guys, this is totally kooky. Also, why don't we're gonna try it again. Here we go. I've got them in.
Coal.
AirPods are connected. Okay, disconnect. Connecting. Oh wait, no, disconnect. Connected, it says, but I don't hear nothing. AirPod Pros connected.
In the parallel universe with backwards time, the mirror black hole is spewing things out a bit like a Big Bang. This is called a white.
Maybe it's just this video. There are different disciplines of math, but they are all considered math. Why then refer to all versions of math as maths? I need that hardwire headphones. Yeah, I think I can't use this stuff because it doesn't, the Bluetooth doesn't like it. It really doesn't.
White hole. Unfortunately,
I don't know if they're not charged or because they're going like in and out too. That's so annoying. Okay, so that's one more thing for me to figure out. Well, I'm going to keep playing it and try to read it, but I'm also rolling a joint, so I might not pay attention. So I'm expecting you guys all to summarize what this video had to say and tell me.
Einstein-Rosen bridges can't actually be crossed. It takes an infinite amount of time to cross over to the opposite universe, and they crimp shut in the middle. If you go into a black hole, you won't become the stuff coming out of the white hole. You'll only become dead.
Okay, well, this
So,
is horrible.
to travel the cosmos in the blink of an eye, humans need a different kind of wormhole, a traversable wormhole.
A traversable wormhole. Very old string theory.
If string
Wormholes.
theory, or one of its variations, is the correct description of our universe, then we could be lucky, and our universe might even have a tangled
Okay,
web
so
of
this
countless
is all-
wormholes already.
Nina, my levels are as high as they will go. And we did the mic placement thing, and everyone voted A. Talking right into it is better for sound. It's when I turn on the Chrome audio, it doesn't, you can't hear it, and I can't turn up the mic levels any more than they are turned up. So you didn't like it when people were doing this to you. So here you go. It's when this is playing the Chrome audio. My AirPods are not working, so I can't hear anything. And the mic, I think, has been working fine. I'll double check. Mathematics is abbreviated by some in plural form to match the subject's full name.
Shortly after the Big Bang, quantum fluctuations in the universe at the smallest scales, far, far smaller than an atom, may have created many, many traversable wormholes. Threaded through them are strings, called cosmic strings. In the first billionth of a trillionth of a second after the Big Bang, the ends of these tiny, tiny wormholes were pulled light years apart, scattering them through the universe. If wormholes were made in the early universe, whether with cosmic strings or some other way, they could be all over, just waiting to be discovered. One might even be closer than we realize. From the outside, black holes and wormholes
from
can
the
look very
outside.
similar, leading some physicists to suggest the supermassive black holes in the center of galaxies are actually wormholes. It will be very hard to go all the way to the center of the Milky Way to find out though, but that's okay. There might be an equally extremely hard way to get our hands on a wormhole. We could try.
This is also far-fetched. Don't you think it's like kind of wild that we spend so much time thinking about something that is, I guess it's not that far-fetched. Like, do you think it'll eventually be like the Jetsons where you can just boop, boop, up and you're somewhere new? Star Trek it somewhere, you know? Like, how far away are we from that? It doesn't seem very safe. Like, the supposedly the smartest guy ever is still blowing up his rockets. So I just don't know if I'll ever trust people to like zap me somewhere. I just feel like that's a rest, like, oh yeah, 1 in 1,000 people will just kind of disintegrate. Suggest all this in theory. Interesting. Yes. Okay. Let's keep learning. It's interesting. I'm still rolling this joint.
To make one.
Man-made
To be
wormhole.
traversable and useful, there are a few properties we want a wormhole to have. First, it must obviously connect two distant parts of space-time, like your bedroom and the bathroom, or Earth and Jupiter. Second, it should not contain any event horizons which would block two-way travel. Third, it should be sufficiently sized so that the gravitational forces don't kill human travelers. The biggest problem we have to solve is keeping our wormholes open. No matter how we make wormholes, gravity tries to close them. Gravity wants to pinch it closed and cut the bridge, leaving only black holes at the ends. Whether it's a traversable wormhole with both ends in ours, or a wormhole to another universe, it will try to close unless we have something propping it open.
So you need like a dilator for your wormhole. Should talk to my gynecologist. They can help them out. Keep that thing open. What's on the other side of the wormhole? I have no idea. What are we even talking about?
For very old string theory wormholes, that's the cosmic strings job. For man-made wormholes, we need a new ingredient. Exotic matter. This isn't anything like we find on Earth.
This is so horny. I can't hear anything. So I'm just like watching it visually. We need a new ingredient. For man-made wormholes, we need a new ingredient. And then
we need a new ingredient. Exotic matter.
Just like
this isn't anything like we find on Earth or even antimatter. It's something totally new and different.
It's something totally new, different, exciting, crazy properties like nothing that's ever been seen before. Like what? Anyway.
And exciting with crazy properties like nothing that's ever been seen before. Exotic matter is stuff that has negative mass.
Antimatter,
positive
exotic
mass, like
matter.
People and planets and everything else in the universe, is attractive because of gravity. But negative mass would be repulsive. It would push you away. This makes a kind of anti-gravity that props open our wormholes. And exotic matter must exert enormous pressure to push space-time open, greater even than the pressure at the centers of neutron stars. With exotic matter, we could weave space-time however we see fit. We may even have a candidate for this exotic matter, the vacuum of space itself. Quantum fluctuations in empty space.
Whoever did the visuals for this, it's so funny. FYI, string theory is largely abandoned because of all the crazy shit that needed to exist. Okay, so Kathy, I'm not off base. I'm not off base. Thank you. The Hulk. Totally awesome seeing you high as fuck. Love seeing someone get dabby. Them dabs slap for real. I'm so hungry, Jeff. You're going to see me eat some chicken wings. Even though I said I didn't want chicken, I just didn't want Zanku chicken. I don't know why. It just feels too healthy. I want fried chicken. I want Korean fried chicken in my belly right now. John Alton, I'm a big fan. Vanessa has great recipes and real heart. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm going to need some water in a little bit, but we're going to keep on watching this video. My chicken's not going to be here for a little bit, so we're going to keep on learning because that's the right thing to do. And I'm going to get some water. How long does it take to arrive? Petra, it is getting here. Amy, I got Kyo-chan. I got Korean fried chicken. It gets here at 6:18. It says by, so that's in like 30 minutes. Long time.
Are constantly creating pairs of particles and antiparticles only for them to be annihilated an instant later. The vacuum of space is boiling with them, and we can already manipulate them to produce an effect similar to the negative mass we're looking for. We could use this to stabilize our wormholes. Once we're keeping it open, the ends would start together, so we'd have to move them around to interesting places. We could start by wiring the solar system, leaving one end of each wormhole in orbit around the Earth. We could fling others into deep space. The Earth could be a wormhole hub for a vast interstellar human civilization spread over light years, but only a wormhole away. However, wormholes have a dark side. Even opening a single wormhole kind of breaks the universe in fundamental ways, potentially creating time travel paradoxes and violating the causal structure of the universe. Many scientists think that this not only means they should be impossible to make, but that it's impossible for them to exist at all. So for now, we only know that wormholes exist in our hearts and on paper in the form of equations.
Okay. Okay. That was cool. How time works. We should watch that too. Hello everyone. Hi Liberty Genetics. How's it going? Jollibee. No, I got Kyo-chan. 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 I'm sorry if I'm saying it incorrectly. It's Korean fried chicken. I got a few different flavors. I'm going to turn off my AC unit and get myself some more water, okay? I'm going to let you guys start watching this, even though I can't fucking hear
Do your
shit.
past, present, and future all exist right now? Are you watching this video, being born, and lying on your deathbed at this very moment? Surprisingly, the answer could be yes. But how can that be? What does that even mean? How does time work? The block universe. Imagine the universe like a child painting pictures on paper. Each picture shows everything that's happening in the universe in a single moment. With each new moment, all kinds of things occur everywhere. People are born and die, galactic civilizations expand, you miss the bus, and our universe kid makes a new picture that replaces the old one. In this way, you get something like a movie. Only the moment we're in right now is real. The past is what happened before. Now it's gone. The future is still to come and hasn't been drawn yet. This is kind of how time feels, right? Each moment being replaced by the next one. The past is far behind us. The future doesn't exist. But what if time is something else? What if the universe kid has already finished all its drawings and stacks them on top of each other?
I'm sorry, I was jibber jabbering while the video was going. My bad. I was saying it's hot, so the AC was on, but now I turned it off. I want it already too, Liberty Genetics. I wish it was here. So what did I miss? What did we learn? What is happening? What if the universe kid has already finished all its drawings and stacks them on top of each other? What is this conversation? Yeah, I've been keeping mine off. All good. Well, depends on where you live in LA. Further east you live, the hotter it gets. You know, further away from the ocean Anyway. Are you guys having Arizona is 100 plus right now? Yuck. Yeah, I can't do that. And you don't have the air conditioning on? Why? Do you like sweating? Or maybe you have like a breezy house? It's explaining the fourth dimension in derivatives. Okay, let's keep watching then.
This way, we get a block of time that contains the whole history of the universe. All moments that have ever existed or will ever exist. But in this block, in this stack of moments, the past, the present, and the future are equally real and exist at the same time.
Okay.
This feels wrong. The only things that we perceive as real are those things happening now. How can the past and future be real right now? The problem is that according to the theory of relativity, they kind of have to be. Heavily simplified, relativity says that time and space are not separated, but one connected space-time. When you move through space, you're also moving through the block. This means time passes differently for different people, depending on how they move through space relative to each other. And this also means that what someone perceives as now is a certain cut along the block, a cut that will depend on how fast they're moving. So what you think is now is really only your now. There are many different nows in the universe, and all of them are equally real. This also means there's no universal past or future.
Wow. Wow. Pete, I've spent time in Arizona and I can't do that kind of heat either. I just want to be cool. A little bit cool. Okay. Okay, let's keep learning, people.
Okay, this is a lot. How does this work? Imagine 3 alien spaceships a million light years away. The first one just hovers in space, not moving relative to you. You both experience the same now, the same present. If you had a magical instantaneous internet connection, you could do a video call right now and chat about alien things. The second spaceship is flying away from us at 30 kilometers a second, about 3 times faster than a human rocket. It's moving differently through the block of time than you are, which means its now is different from yours. With the magical internet, the aliens can talk to your ancestors in 1924, when humanity was discovering the first galaxies outside the Milky Way. The third spaceship wants to visit Earth and is flying towards you at 30 kilometers a second, moving at the opposite angle of the second ship through the block of time. It experiences yet another now. With the magical internet, the aliens can talk to your descendants in the year 2124, when humanity has already built cities on Mars and Venus. Okay, so we have 3 different nows. So which one is correct? Well, that's the problem. Relativity is based on one powerful principle: cosmic democracy. The fact that the point of view of all observers in the universe is equally valid. All those nows have to be equally real. But if this is the case, your past, present, and your future all have to exist at the same time, right now. Because for the different aliens, they all happen in their present. This means that the distinction between the past, the present, and the future is an illusion. The universe is not a bunch of things evolving through time like in a movie, but a static block in which the past, the present, and the future all coexist and are real. How can that be? Well, think about a galaxy outside the observable universe, too far away to ever visit or see. But even if you can't get there and don't see it, it's still real. The future might be the same. But if the past is not far behind us and the future actually exists, then there is no movie. Things don't happen in the universe. The universe just is, like a frozen block of dead cosmic ice, with everything that will ever happen already written and decided. Is the future already written? If all times coexist and are equally real, then the future has to be already written. But that's not how you experience things. It feels like you can mold your future with your decisions. It really feels like you're free to choose to stop watching YouTube to not miss the bus. But if the future is set in stone, you can't decide anything. So are your choices an illusion? Well, maybe. Maybe your free will is a mirage, and maybe you missing the bus was already predetermined at the Big Bang, so feel free to continue watching. Except quantum stuff is ruining everything again. Quantum processes can't be predicted, not even in principle. Not because we're silly and don't know how to do it. According to quantum physics, quantum particles are intrinsically random. For example, if you have a radioactive atom, it could decay at any moment, in the next second or in the next million years. We can calculate the probability that it will decay tomorrow, but no oracle in the universe will ever be able to tell you with absolute certainty if it will do so or not. But quantum particles can change the world. Imagine a radioactive element randomly decays and causes a genetic mutation in a nearby mammal. And then many generations later, that mutation has led to a weird mix of duck and mammal that makes no sense. Or the atom decays a day later, and the weird creature will never exist. If quantum stuff is really uncertain, the future can't be set in stone. But if the future is an untold story, it can't be real in the same way as the past is. So what happens when uncertain things like the decay of our atom become real? Is that moment the present? Is this now? But before we saw that cosmic democracy makes it impossible to define an absolute now. What's going on here? It turns out that for every individual object, you, an alien, an atom, the past, the present, and the future are always well defined. Your death will always happen after your birth, never before, and never at the same time. Now, you are clearly between your birth and your death. So, for you at least, now makes perfect sense. If we don't play tricks like going to the other side of the universe and using aliens in funny ways to find out what now means, things again start to look ordered and nice, and individual not contain the future, and maybe we just imagined it wrong. Maybe the block is just the past, and a thin layer on the surface is the present. That surface is not smooth, but bumpy and uneven. It's been made by joining countless individual nows, each experienced by someone or something in the universe, each equally real and valid. And all observers do their bit, so cosmic democracy is still true. As new things happen and uncertain things become certain, radioactive atoms decay, new species of mammals arise, people miss the bus, the border moves upwards, creating new time in the universe. Instead of a frozen block of time with a future that has already been written, the block is growing and things happen. You can again decide your future. Maybe leave earlier so you won't miss the bus. What is real then? Let's recap. We started with time as a movie, one now after another, where only the current now was real.
Okay, sorry, Bonbon is gone. I can see ending up in danger. What? Sure, overriding of our greater God, time-space overlords could very well be written already. In fact, I think I'd like to read it if I could. Oh my goodness.
Then we found out that because of relativity, there are multiple nows, all of them real somehow, which could mean that we're living in a frozen block universe where things don't happen and you don't really have free will. And we ended up with a kind of growing block universe where time passes and the future is open. So which is correct? What is real? The present? The past? Are the dinosaurs as real as you are right now? What do the aliens on the other corner of the universe think about all this? To be honest, no one knows. What we've learned are two possibilities to describe time, but they're not the only ones. Some scientists think that the idea of now only makes sense near you, but not in the universe as a whole. Others think that time itself doesn't even exist.
Jeff, this is a deep one today, you know? Oh, this is a complex Club Sesh. That's why I took 2 dabs before before we started the sesh.
Exist, that the whole concept is an illusion of our human mind. And others think that time does exist, but that it's not a fundamental feature of the universe. Rather, time may be something that emerges from a deeper level of reality, just like heat emerges from the motion of individual molecules, or life emerges from the interactions of lifeless proteins. We could go on, but aren't you about to miss the bus? The concept of time is abstract and elusive, possibly beyond complete human comprehension. Fortunately, there's a vast world of things we do understand about the universe that you can explore right now, thanks to our friends at brilliant.org.
Cool. Okay, so this is like an ad. Okay.
Brilliant has thousands of bite-sized hands-on lessons in science, maths, technology, and beyond. Their latest course, Introduction to Probability, offers a practical guide to interpreting the world. You'll master the tools of chance, risk, and prediction while learning to model real-world situations and running simulations of everything from election results to who will win the next war.
I feel like sometimes smoking weed is like going through a wormhole. It's an internal wormhole.
Our shop has grown so much over the years, thanks to all of you. Now, it's time to move our precious
This is an advertisement. Okay, cool. That was a cool little video. Okay. I wanted to look at one thing. Oops, not here. Maybe I can get a video of this. I think we can watch this. I'm trying to make sure we won't get in trouble.
The idea of time travel has two sides. On one side is the idea
fucking closed captions are on, baby. The idea of time travel has two sides.
Of time traveling to the future. We are doing that now. Every day that passes is, in effect, traveling one day into the future for us. We also know through relativity and Einstein that everything is, well, relative. You can time travel into the future faster.
Wait. So in theory, you live for the moment and it makes sense, don't it? Yeah, that's how I feel. It's like, one, we don't know anything. All of this is just people like thinking about things. They're just thinking. Lots of thoughts. And nothing's confirmed. It's like philosophy, right? But of the universe. Yeah, Jaden, you've time traveled. Do we want more science, Eddie Moretti? Well, too fucking bad if you don't. You're going to get it. We're going to learn what Stephen Hawking had to say about chronology protection conjecture, obviously. I don't even know what that means. Okay. I have no idea.
By acceleration. Whether by accelerating really fast through space-time or experiencing an acceleration towards an object through its gravity. Sitting on the surface of the Earth, glued to your chair, you may not think you are accelerating. But the fact that you are glued to your chair works like an acceleration, which is why time dilation occurs in gravitational fields, as well as at relativistic speeds. In very severe...
So are they trying to say that by gluing myself to this chair right now, I'm causing like my time to go faster? What?
Gravitational fields like a black hole, this becomes very evident. If you hover just above a black hole, you are traveling very rapidly into the future compared to a reference point away from the black hole, such as Earth. Whatever acceleration really means aside, we don't really know that. We just know what happens involving it, nor do we really know what time is. Ask physicists what time is and you will get different answers, ranging from a dimension to nothing at all. Rather, it's just a perception. In one case, though, it's a dimension you can move around in, just like our 3 dimensions. But in the end, it has some rules different from the other dimensions. But in one case, could you even tell time existed if all particles stood still and nothing ever changed? Imagine yourself as the only person in existence in a spaceship, and the rest of the universe was just a bunch of hydrogen atoms. If you go accelerating through that space, time would dilate. But you'd step out and see the same bunch of hydrogen atoms that you had when you started. Nothing had changed. Does time exist in that situation? But our universe doesn't work that way for various reasons. So for that question, in our universe, there are still things that will change no matter what, and mark the passage of time. Radioactive decay, for example, would continue no matter what you do, and it would mark time. As
We are passing time just by being here, so I suppose that's true. Time keeps on moving. Yes, it does. And time is everything.
would the eventual decay of the proton, if indeed that actually happens. That is still debated in science. So even if all particles were frozen at a standstill, something would probably eventually happen, even through random quantum fluctuations and even Boltzmann brains, that would mark the passage of some kind of time. It has to be said that time ticks at different rates in the universe depending on where you are and what you are doing. Says that time is a thing. Einstein called it space-time because the two seem to...
Kathy said this is boring as fuck. Okay, my bad. We won't watch this anymore. You got it, boss. Time for a dab, says Jeff Tharp. Let me go feed my dog and then I'll do a dab. 1 second. All right, let's switch to something else. Okay. Okie dokie. This guy was better than the first. Hello, gang. Guy was better than the first. Oh, okay. You didn't like the first guy either. Shit. Let me get. Kathy sent me an article. Oh, shit. I'm going to send this to myself. How do I send this to myself? I want to airdrop it. Can I airdrop it? No. I'll mail it to myself. God damn it. Fedora. Okay. All right. Sorry, you guys. I was just trying to get that sent to myself. Where's this? And let me copy this link and paste. Here
Lexicographers
we go.
will tell you that time, the word, T-I-M-E, is the most used noun in the English language. We can't get through the day without talking about time all the time. I think about how we use time when we actually talk about it. If you say, meet me at 7 p.m., no one panics. No one says like, oh my God, what are you talking about with these esoteric concepts about 7 p.m.? You know, we all know what to do operationally. Time, in some sense, is just a label on different events in the universe. The universe happens over and over again at different things we call moments, and time helps us tell the difference between one moment and another. So what time is, I don't think is the problem. The issue, the real puzzles, come about when we talk about the properties that time has. We have a past, we have a present, we have a future. How are they different? Are we moving through it? We have memories of the past, but we have no memories of the future. Why is that? Where does that asymmetry come from? Why are we all born young? Why do we all inevitably age? Why do we think that we can affect the future but not the past? Could we possibly travel back into it? Anyway, there's a lot of questions about the nature of time that are really confusing, and many of them we don't know the answer to. But what time is, I don't think is one of them.
This is going to make me... Okay, I'm just waiting. Pausing. What edibles are you going to eat, Kyle? Tell us. Okay, so I'm going to go to my app. Okay. What was I doing? I was going to the app. Is she back in her bed? Oh no, she's on the floor. She wants to be on the floor. I'm going to let her be on the floor. I'm going to keep doing this at medium. Oops. And let me hit this. Just set it. Preparing. I'm going to be very hungry. I'm going to have the munchies. So good thing I ordered chicken. Good night, Petra. I'm sorry it's not here yet. It's almost here, but my bad. Sorry. Have a good night. I get it. I'd be in bed too. Ooh. I always forget to jiggle the little thing. Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay, let me just keep going a little bit more.
One of the most noticeable features of time is that it has a direction. right? That there's a difference between the past and future. Sometimes we think about this as just an intrinsic feature of reality. Like the past already happened, it's in the books, the future is up for grabs, it hasn't happened yet, and the present is where we live. But then along comes physics. And what people notice about our best theories of physics is that those theories do not distinguish between the past and the future. But in our everyday lives, nothing is more obvious. It really requires a bit of mental discipline to say, well, time could exist without an arrow. And one
Jacob Fitchett. I gotta get my wisdom teeth pulled and can't smoke weed for a bit. Can I make tea out of wax from a disposable? Do you mean like a cart from a vape? Like a disposable vape cartridge? You could make oil out of it. It's not gonna be water soluble, but you could take some oil and then use that oil to make something. Like get the coconut oil, use the coconut oil, heat it up and put it in there. And then I've been saving the little jars that I get the rosin for my Puffco. And I'm going to use some oil to get anything out from them that's in there. It won't be single strain, obviously. I'm going to mix them all. But then, because I don't want to waste it. And that's like a good way to get the rest of that oil off. And then you can use that in your cooking. I also have a smoothie. Since you're getting your wisdom teeth pulled, you won't be able to chew anything. You're not really supposed to suck, but you can like spoon the smoothie in because you can't really eat anything for a little bit. But yeah, you could also do a tincture. I don't know if you want to have alcohol in your mouth after you have your wisdom teeth pulled. Probably not. But you could also like turn that into a sugar. So there's a lot of different options you can do.
One way of thinking about that is there is no intrinsic arrow of space, but there's still space, okay? We live in a three-dimensional world, up, down, left,
Hi, Saint Lucky Charm Show. Welcome to the sesh.
right, forward, backward. At the level of the fundamental laws of physics, there's no special direction in space. And how you perceive that is, imagine you're an astronaut. You're flying around in your little spacesuit. There wouldn't be any difference between any direction you could look. There's no experiment you could do in physics that would point out a direction in the universe, but space still exists. Likewise, time would still exist even if there wasn't an arrow.
Kyle, cannabis isn't water soluble.
But here on Earth, we do have an arrow of space. If I pick up a coffee
And the nice thing about the carts is they decarb them before they go in. So it's already decarbed for you.
up and let it go, it will always fall down. There's clearly a distinction between up and down. No one is tempted to think that's a fundamental feature of the universe. It's not because downness is embedded in the laws of physics. It's because we live in the vicinity of an influential object, the Earth. The arrow of time is exactly the same way. We, in our everyday lives, perceive an arrow of time because we live in the aftermath of an influential event, the Big Bang. And that gets us into a realm of the concept of entropy. Entropy is how many.
I think entropy is the word of the day. It's a little messy, but I put it on the board.
Messy, how disorganized, how random.
Good night, Jeff. Have a good night. Thanks for being here. Sorry you won't get to watch me eat chicken. It's coming right now. You like to see your name on the chalkboard? Thank you for sending a super chat. Liberty Genetics, you need to have some patience. I did not pay extra to have it rushed, but it should be here soon. And I'll post it to the Patreon, and I will tell you in the next sesh that I have those results available. They were dropped off on Monday, so it's Wednesday. I'm guessing they'll have them by the end of the week, latest early next week. So patience is a virtue. I think my chicken's here, but the dog hasn't barked yet, so we'll see. Oh wait, no, they're still on their way. Cool. Let's keep learning.
Random a system is. When things are nice and neat and tidy, they are low entropy. When they're all messy and all over the place, they are high entropy. And there's a natural tendency of things in the universe to go from low entropy to high entropy. This is called the second law of thermodynamics. The real question is...
Yes, Eddie Moretti, we got super chats from Christian Gutierrez, from El Fraggle Rock Pothead, and from Kathy Astrocat. So they're all on the board. Kathy sent me a super chat because she wanted me to get Korean fried chicken. And so that's what I ordered, a nice selection of Korean fried chicken.
Why was the world ever low entropy to begin with? Why was the world lower entropy yesterday than it is today? The explanation is not completely satisfying, to be honest. The explanation is the following: because it was even lower entropy the day before yesterday. And why was the universe even lower entropy the day before yesterday? Because it was even lower entropy the day before that. And this chain of reasoning goes back 14 billion years to the Big Bang, to the origin of our observable universe in a hot, dense state, a very low entropy state, and the universe has been increasing in entropy ever since. And this is called the past hypothesis by philosophers. David Albert, who's a philosopher of physics, gave it this name. So now we say, if you know that the world is made of atoms, and you know what entropy is in terms of rearranging all those atoms, and you know the past hypothesis, that the entropy of the universe started really low, then you can explain everything that happened after that. There's a way of talking about human life and entropy, which I think is misguided, which is that we should think about life, literally living, being a biological organism, taking in food and everything, as a fight against increasing entropy. I think that's wrong. I think that we owe life to the fact that entropy is increasing, because what would it mean if entropy were not increasing? It would mean that nothing is happening, nothing interesting is taking place. Without entropy increasing, there's no memory of the past. Without entropy increasing, there's no causal effect that we have on the future. You'd just be in what we call thermal equilibrium. Everything would be the same everywhere. It would be the maximally boring universe.
Kathy, I wanted all sorts of things. I'd said one of the things I had been craving was Korean fried chicken wings, and you were like, get them. You went to feed your dog, travel through time. When you came back, you were still smoking. Thanks, Zachary. Did they enjoy your labeling? Sorry, I'm confusing Liberty Genetics. They were fine with it. Actually. They put it all in. I posted a photo to the group, to the club group chat. You can click to join up top if you want to join and see. But yeah, they put it all in, all of it, how I wrote it. And I'm excited to see the tests. Winslow is on my side. He thinks like I do. Bonbon's on the floor. Don't worry. Bonbon's down on the floor. She's sleeping. I would put her there up in the bed, but she's just going to freak out in a little bit because the delivery guy's going to be here. We're learning about the universe. Oh, is Elio the aliens here? Hi, Elio. Welcome to the sesh. We're learning about mind-bending physics of time with Sean Carroll. We started at normal time, 4:20, so 2 hours ago. We started 4:20 every Wednesday. We start on time, even though we're stoners.
But what we do have as a scientific question is, why do complicated, complex structures come into existence at all? It's clear that they need increasing entropy to exist, because if entropy were already maxed out, there would be no complexity. But that doesn't mean they have to come into existence. Think about a famous example where the perfume is all in a little bottle, it's in a big room, you open it, and it all floats through the room. The entropy of the perfume increases. But if you think about it, when the perfume is all in the bottle, it's very simple. Once it's all spread through the room, it's also very simple. It went from low entropy to high entropy, but it went from simple to simple. It's the journey from the simple low entropy starting point to the simple high entropy ending point that there's a large space of possibilities where things can be intricate. There's more perfume here over there. There can be swirls caused by the motion of the wind in the room and so forth. The universe is just like that. Our universe started out simple and low entropy. In the future, the stars will die, the black holes will evaporate, it'll be dark.
For infusion, I found cashew milk in concentrate by Joy. Maybe that would help for wisdom teeth. Have not tried it, but they have all flavor of nut milks and other products. Yeah, you could use a milk, higher fat, and then heat it up. You know, you got to heat it up. It's kind of gross, you know, but it'll work. And then you can use that. Hey, Winslow. I couldn't get my AirPods to work, so I gave up. So I'm reading it, doing my best. And I ordered Korean fried chicken. Kyo-chan. Do you know about Kyo-chan? So good.
Empty, and again simple, but high entropy. It's in between that things like us, complicated, intricate systems that feed.
This video was brought to us by Kathy.
Off of the increasing entropy of the universe can and do come into existence. We don't know the whole story there. I think this is a very fun, active scientific research area. Why did complex structures like living beings come into existence in exactly the way we did? What is the role of information? What is the down-to-earth chemistry that is going on here? What is the geology that is going on here? Could it happen on other planets? Very interesting questions. But one thing I do know is that if entropy weren't increasing along the way, none of it would have come to pass.
Get smarter, fast.
One thing I could do, well, one, the chicken's almost here, but I could watch it on my phone and connect my AirPods to my phone. Almost here. Oop. They don't even want to connect to my phone. Okay, sorry. I'm watching it now so I can hear myself. All right. There's always a bit of a delay. What are you going to do? All right. Keep watching this.
With videos
it's
from the
over.
world.
It's over. And I have another video to watch. So let me put this on, and my chicken's going to be here so you can watch it while I get my chicken. Let me get this. I have to email it to myself. Oh boy, they're here. Ooh. Ooh. he lift. He laughed at. He laughed at Bonbon. Okay, wait. I'm gonna put this on. Okay. Okay, getting my chicken. BRB.
Our galaxy is over 100,000 light years across, a distance so vast that it defies ordinary understanding. Even humanity's earliest radio transmissions, hurtling through space at the speed of light, would still only have washed over less than 1/1,000,000th of the stellar population. The cosmic speed limit, the speed of light, is so diminutive compared to our galaxy that any aspirations we might harbor for galactic exploration or even just communication seem impossible, at least within human lifetimes. But humanity has long wondered, could there be a cheat code? Could there be a way to exceed that cosmic speed limit? Could we go faster than light? FTL. There is no other technology that I so keenly wish could be realized than FTL. Since childhood, I've looked up at the stars and dreamt of one day reaching them, of exploring the ocean of space, the zoo of worlds, the menagerie of life. It almost seems like a cruel cosmic joke that the universe be arranged in such a way that we are able to look out and glimpse its wonders, and yet are trapped here by the speed of light, fated to only ever peer through the bars of our cosmic prison and dream. And so, it's no surprise that human ingenuity and aspiration has raged against Einstein's cosmic speed limit. After all, we've never been so good at doing what we're told. To be clear though, we currently have no way of building or even conceiving of a practical FTL system, be it for travel or just for communication. But there are threads that physicists pull at that it is hoped one day might bear fruit. For example, we know that Einstein's speed limit only truly applies to travel through space, but that space itself has no such constraint. For this reason, there are parts of the universe receding away from us faster than the speed of light, as the fabric of the cosmos itself expands in all directions. Could we one day learn to manipulate space then, and somehow use this to travel faster than light? The hypothetical Alcubierre drive is perhaps the most famous example of this concept. Inspired by Star Trek's warp drive, Miguel Alcubierre showed that there exists a solution within Einstein's relativistic field equations that, in principle, could allow FTL. By expanding space behind itself and contracting it ahead, a bubble of space could cruise between the stars at arbitrarily fast speeds. The idea has certainly faced many challenges though, such as requiring the use of exotic matter, enormous energy requirements, and even obliterating the destination through the buildup of radiation gathered up by the bubble. Yet, optimists might argue that none of these are truly showstoppers, merely engineering challenges. A more pressing problem is folding in quantum effects into the Alcubierre drive. In 2009, Finazzi et al. Showed that the warp drive bubble leads to exponentially increasing Hawking radiation on the inside of it. This isn't just a hazard to the crew, the exponential buildup destabilizes the bubble itself. It's important to remember that we don't have a good theory of quantum gravity yet, and the Alcubierre drive is conceived in its absence, just using general relativity alone. These kinds of quantum concerns don't just plague warp drives. Wormholes, another hypothetical FTL system, has also been criticized as being possibly unstable due to these quantum effects ignored by general relativity. Ultimately, we can't truly prove whether wormholes or Alcubierre drives are allowed or not until we have solved quantum gravity or built a working example of one. The other problem with assessing the feasibility of FTL is that there are multiple ideas out there, such as tachyons, Krasnikov tubes, quantum tunneling, and entanglement. And each one of those has a diverse number of flavors proposed. For example, the Alcubierre metric has been tweaked many.
Okay. I hope I haven't lost you all. I'm going to get rid of this bonbon cam. I've got Starry. I love it. I've got, let me just, I almost feel like I need to pull my hair back. Let me take these out. You can't really eat with anything in your ears. It's hard. The dog, of course. So I got a whole bunch of chicken. I made myself a little plate, but then I also just brought some. And I did get some ranch. I guess we'll put this on the main. And then let me see what the chat... I'm going to get rid of the bonbon. How's the chat doing? Munchie time. It is munchie time. So maybe the universe is one giant chicken wing. I wish I had some ketchup, though. Good potato wedges. I'm just going to try it straight out of the can. Love it. So what do you prefer? A drumstick? These are so good. Yes, I'm eating Korean fried chicken. Don't judge me. And Bonbon is like right at my side. They know what they're doing. Kyo-chan is the shit. It's a good crunch, right, Will D? What is that sound? 1 second. It was a iced tea bottle. The lid was on and it was making a little sound because it was out of the fridge. Thank you, Kathy. I'll go through and clean the bones later. You don't need to watch me do that. I really eat them apart. What got me onto the topic of physics? Well, we're talking about time travel. And then Kathy sent me that video to watch because of okay, that was really good. Whatever that flavor was. Ooh. I want to try a spicy one, but I want to try this garlic. I'm going to eat another drumstick. I like the other one more, but this is still really good. Good flavor. It doesn't have the crunch as the first same crunch. It doesn't have all that sugar on it. I'm so sorry. This poor tiny dog. No. Okay, one more. I want a spicy one. This is a spicy. I haven't even been showing you guys. Well, it's kind of hard to get the light on these. There we go. This is a spicy one. Good spice. This is also very good. The first one was so crunchy though. Quite delicious. Well, Winslow, I feel like you and Kathy have a lot of things in common to talk about. Good thing you're a part of the Discord. I'm going to eat one more. I'm sorry. I need to. This guy's calling my name. You're calling my name. You're a chicken wing and you're calling my name. These are really good. And when you get them like right there, you know, they're even better. She's on a diet, but I'm going to give her like a little tiny this piece. That's it. Get out of here. The recruiter. Love from India. Thank you. That's so cool. I love Indian food. You know what I love? We should make it on the club. Kalakand. I don't know if I'm definitely not pronouncing it correctly. Kalakand. It's like a milk fudge. So good. I love all of the mithai. All of them. I've never met one I didn't like. Delicious. All of them. Obviously, they're better if they're fresh, but anyway. Let's keep learning. I'm going to keep eating French fries. I might have another chicken wing. Oh, wait. I'm such a stoner. I thought we were back in the browser and we weren't. My bad.
Result, it seems somewhat hopeless that we'll ever be able to completely exclude FTL as a possibility. On the one hand, our hearts might rejoice in that because it means that hope persists and the dream will always be alive. But on the other hand, our minds complain because, after all, this is science and we want definitive, clear, objective answers, not eternal maybes that will forever be unfalsifiable. So, is there anything that we can definitively say with existing knowledge? Well, it turns out, yes. Despite the fact that we don't have a theory of quantum gravity, despite the fact that there are countless variants and ideas about FTL systems, there is a definitive statement that we can make about all FTL systems. They all allow for causality breaking time travel. When you hear that FTL implies time travel, you might think about sci-fi portrayals of accelerating past the speed of light. But actually, the causality breaking is far more subtle and occurs even with FTL messaging systems alone. The explanation is a little challenging, so we're going to break it down into small, bite-sized steps and use diagrams to help us understand it. It's worth spending a little bit of time on this because the consequences are...
I feel like eating chicken wings is a little too intimate. You know what I mean? Like, it's a moment. Like, how far you take it is between you and the chicken. I already have enough of an audience with Bonbon.
Truly profound. Let's start by drawing a line representing one dimension of space along the bottom of the screen, and a line representing time that's orthogonal to that. We now have a space-time or Minkowski diagram. To get acquainted with this setup, let's consider a distant star like Vega. This green square represents Vega at a certain point in space, in other words, its location, but also at a certain point in time. Let's consider that Vega is stationary in this frame of reference, so that as we move through time, it traces out this line. Note how it has the same position at all times. This line is what we would call the world line for Vega, and we don't have to limit our...
Not if I want to look ladylike, I can't. You know? Not if I want to, like, be polite. But... Hi, Ramona. Interstoner. That's funny. Okay, I'm going to go put this on a table. I'm done eating my chicken wings in front of you.
Ourselves to just Vega, we can, for example, put the Earth on the space-time diagram as well. Earth isn't moving much compared to Vega, so let's just assume it's also stationary in this frame and thus has a parallel world line. Since we're ultimately interested in speed when it comes to FTL, let's now familiarize ourselves with what speed looks like on this diagram. Because we're working in the Earth's rest frame here, we don't feel ourselves moving, and thus in this frame, we simply move parallel to the time axis. So, such world lines correspond to no travel through space. In contrast, instantaneous travel, which is the most extreme FTL possible, would go from the Earth to Vega with no time passing at all. Thus, it would appear as this pink line parallel to the space axis. Between those two extremes, we have traveling at the speed of light, given by this yellow line.
That was really fun. Sorry. Close the mic so you guys could hear it. That was fun and delicious. Kyo-chan, Los Angeles. You chew it and spit it out. Cool. I've seen people do that before. All right, we're going to finish this.
Line. In a Minkowski
This video, I'm going to finish this joint. What do you see? Calm down. Lay down. You go lay down. No. She wants to sit right next to me. Okay, we're going to finish this video.
diagram like this, light
Maybe not, it's
always
pretty long.
travels at 45-degree angles just like this, and technically it's called a null line. Removing Vega for the moment, we first note that we are of course free to travel both forwards and backwards through space. However, if the speed of light is the cosmic speed limit, then any path below the null lines, highlighted here, are impossible to achieve. These would require FTL systems. On the other hand, lines above the null are perfectly accessible, such as this stationary world line that the Earth occupies. A slower than light or STL ship would travel at some angle between that of a null and a stationary world line. Okay, congratulations, you've mastered the basics of space-time diagrams, but now let's go a little bit deeper. And note
7 million views on this. That's weird.
some relationships and rules that we'll need later. Stripping down this diagram, consider the Earth sat in space as shown here, and again working in the Earth's rest frame. From Earth's perspective, we don't feel like we're moving. That's relativity for you. So, as time progresses, our location in space is always the same, forming this world line. Crucially, that's the same as the time axis. In other words, the world line defines the time axis as perceived by those following it. This is important because we all know how relativity screws around with time, but here there's a clear definition of where the perceived time axis lives. Now, adding the null line back on, we can note the relationship that the space axis is really just a flip of the time axis around the null. So again, this provides a useful rule for orienting ourselves later when we'll have to deal with more complicated scenarios. Okay, so we're finally ready to start imagining FTL systems on here. Let's put Vega back on the diagram as a distant destination. Consider that at some distant location from Vega.
Wait, what are we? All right, let's see if we got. a little hard. Shit. I could do it. Okay, I'm gonna try. Excuse my couch that's covered with camera stuff. But that's where she wants to nap right now. So if you want to see Bonbon, that's where she is. Sorry, I felt like that was important.
But one closer to the Earth, a supernova goes off. We'll call it supernova X. The radiation from the supernova travels at the speed of light and thus follows a null line. Following this path, we can see that Earth sees X first and then Vega, marked by these stars. Now, imagine that Earth has an FTL messaging system. As soon as Earth sees X, we decide to send a warning to Vega. Recall that FTL lines fall below the null just like this, so we can see that Vega would learn of X before it actually sees it. Mission accomplished. Now, remember I said earlier that the whole problem with FTL systems comes down to causality. So let's look at the order of events here to see if everything makes sense. For this, we need to work through time from the past to the future and track this sequence that occurs. We can do this by taking a slice through time, a simultaneous moment, and slide it up the screen from bottom to top, noting the sequence of events we see. And remember, I'm in Earth's reference frame here, so the time slices here are time as perceived by Earthlings, although this is also equivalent for Vegans too. So, sliding up the page, we can see that the first event is that supernova X occurs. Sliding further up, we can see that the next event is that Earth sees X and warns Vega. Going further, third, we see that Vega receives the warning. And once more, finally, we see that Vega sees X. Looking at the order, this seems sensible. Cause precedes effect. For example, supernova X happens and then Earth sees X. Similarly, Earth warns Vega, then Vega receives the warning. Okay, so if you stopped the video here and walked away, please don't, you would erroneously conclude that FTL travel is fine. It doesn't break causality, cause precedes effect, there's nothing to worry about. Well, that's because in order to unveil the causality breaking power of FTL, we have to add another ingredient into the mix. We have to add a slower than light STL relativistic ship here, because doing so leads to some disturbing consequences. Okay, so coming back to our diagram.
I'm sorry I did that to you. I know that feeling when you just like you see someone eat something and you're like, Eddie Moretti, why is Vanessa dancing? That's like my happy, we're learning, we're eating chicken wings, we're happy. We have these wonderful people gave us these super chat. Thank you for supporting the stream. We're hanging out. Let me drop also in the chat while I have you all here. Please, if you have time, I'll give you 2 links. Here's if you want to order this way, and I know it's available, like they ship pretty much worldwide. I'm going to paste and get my cookbook there. And you can also get it here, but don't get it through my publisher. Get it through one of these places that they have linked there, like Barnes and Noble, or now, you could go to Now Serving LA. 2 orders of chicken. I get it. Now I'll have a canned chicken instead with crackers, but tomorrow for show. Cool. Like canned tuna, Korean fried chicken. Yum. Canned chicken. I don't know what canned
We
chicken
currently
is.
have no STL ships on here.
Good question.
Just Earth, Vega, X, and the FTL message shown in pink. STL ships have to follow world lines above the null, as shown here in red. Now, remember our rules from before. The world line defines the time axis as perceived by those following it. So, the time axis, as perceived by the crew of that ship, actually lives along that red line. It's not the same as the Earth's time axis in white. The distortion of time is one of those mind-bending consequences of special relativity, which our Journey to the End of the Universe video explores in much more depth. Now, remember rule number 2, that the space axis flips the time axis about the null line. So, as perceived by the crew, their space axis actually lives here.
Remember when Madonna
This
sang that?
is a remarkable consequence of Einstein's rule that the speed of light is the same for all observers.
Thanks, Oscar.
Time and space bend to accommodate its constancy in all frames of reference. Recall before that we tracked this sequence of events with sliding time slices, lines of simultaneous moments. And recall that these slices must be parallel to the space axis. So, if we want to draw these time slices from the crew's perspective, they must be parallel to the red dashed line, sliding from the bottom right of the screen to the top left. So, coming back to the order of events, look, we already know what the Earthlings and the Vegans think happen, but what did the crew of the ship think?
Thank you.
Using our sliding...
Thank you, Ian, too. That's nice. That is very nice. Love it. Everyone, thank you. If you wrote me a review on Amazon, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I've got 75 reviews, and pretty much all of them are 5-star. So that's awesome. I love it. All of the ones that actually have something to say about the book are 5-star, and that's what matters. So
In time slice, we can see that the first event in time, as perceived by the ship's crew, is that Vega receives the warning message from Earth about X. Going further, the second event is that supernova X happens. Third, we see that Earth sees X. And fourth and final, the Vegans see X. Looking at this order, we can immediately see something very strange. Vega received the warning message about X before Earth even sent it. How is that possible? Cause transpired after the effect. Causality is broken. At this point, you might wonder, maybe the problem isn't so much with FTL, but rather with the theory of relativity itself. What happens if we take away those FTL messages? Because if causality violation persists even without FTL, then we would know that it's not FTL that's the problem, it's relativity. So let's repeat the experiment, but now I've removed that FTL message. Sliding our time slice along, we see that the first event is now supernova X. Next, the second event is that Earth sees X. And finally, the third event is that Vega sees X. So the sequence makes perfect sense now. No causality violation. Indeed, we get the same order as that which the Earthlings and Vegans would report. So the causality violation of before isn't a problem with relativity, it's a problem of FTL itself. Now you might say, so what? Does this disagreement about the order of events truly matter? Isn't this just an academic question, one with no real-world consequences? Well, I'm afraid not.
He's afraid not.
Causality violation here is profound, and it could actually allow the crew to potentially break the universe. To see this, let's modify the scenario so that the crew are no longer mere observers, but can actually intervene. Let's modify the FTL world line just a little. Instead of being sent to Vega, it is intercepted by the crew of the STL ship. So they would receive the message here. After receiving the message, they decide to send a reply back to Earth using an FTL transmitter that they have on board their ship. For a bit of perverse fun, let's imagine that they send a message back to Earth saying, "Turn off FTL transmitter." Okay,
obviously.
but where does this reply live on this space-time diagram? Bizarrely, it would follow a world line like this. Remember that our entire diagram is cast in Earth's frame of reference, and in this frame, the reply message seems to be traveling backwards through time. And now we see the problem. The reply is received back on Earth before the message was ever sent. So Earth receives a message saying, "Turn off their transmitter," and so they don't then send a message out subsequently. But if they never send out that message, then the ship will never receive it, and thus it will never reply. And thus Earth should not turn off its transmitters, etc., etc. Like killing our grandfather before we were born, we have set up now a grandfather paradox. Now, you might be wondering, perhaps there's something wrong with the lines that I drew here. The diagram is, after all, getting pretty complicated at this point. To simplify things and really nail this home, let's imagine that our FTL messages are not just faster than light, but they're instantaneous. Modifying this means that the original Earth message must be parallel to the space axis because no time transpires. And similarly, the reply must now be parallel to the STL ship's space axis, the red dashed line. And we can see that this simplified picture leads to exactly the same result, albeit one that's even more extreme. So the causality violation isn't some mere academic issue here, it opens the door to time travel paradoxes. And remember that we didn't assume any particular FTL system here, this applies to them all. Whenever you have an FTL system, you also have a time travel machine.
That's a good question,
a machine
Oscar.
capable of creating paradoxes in time. In one of my personal favorites, we tackled time travel in a previous video, along with the paradoxes that it elicits. Physicists despise problems like the grandfather paradox because they undermine the logical underpinnings of our universe, and no good solution exists to resolve them. It was the late Stephen Hawking who posed the most accepted way out. Put simply, time paradoxes are not possible. Hawking's famous chronology protection conjecture suggests that the laws of nature are arranged in such a way that time paradoxes simply cannot happen. Whenever you try, some physical effect will prevent you from achieving that goal. What might this look like for an FTL system then, such as, for example, the Alcubierre drive that we discussed earlier? How is it that Hawking is going to somehow save us here? Well, it turns out that in that case, Hawking himself may have already done so in his previous work. Because recall that one of the problems with the Alcubierre drive is that they generate enormous amounts of radiation inside the bubble. What kind of radiation? Well, it's Hawking radiation. That radiation, in fact, builds up exponentially and rapidly destabilizes the bubble. Crucially, Hawking radiation is a quantum effect, and recall that a unified theory of quantum mechanics and gravity so far eludes us. So even though we don't truly
Kathleen, one
understand
second.
how quantum effects and gravity play together,
Here's the
Hawking's
ceramic.
chronology protection conjecture essentially argues that it's in that missing knowledge that the answer lies, that one day we will discover a unified theory that neatly explains why time travel paradoxes can never happen, and thus why FTL systems too are not allowed. I promised you something definitive about FTL, and now we have it. Unfettered use of FTL systems can break causality and cause paradoxes. Hawking predicts that such violations are impossible. And so by that logic, does that mean that FTL is in turn impossible? Not quite. One way that we might be able to salvage FTL and satisfy Hawking is to consider that, hey, FTL is possible, it's just that there are strict rules about its use. After all, when we removed the STL ship from our space-time diagram, there were no violations of causality, or even more subtly, just demanding that the ship never intervenes leads to no paradoxes. Perhaps FTL systems are possible, but somehow specific paradox-causing activities like replying to that original FTL message are forbidden. This sounds a little contrived, but it provides at least a possible way out for FTL. The other option is just to reject Hawking's conjecture outright, to suppose that paradoxes are allowed and deal with the enormously challenging consequences of making sense of the universe with their inclusion. As hard as a pill as it is to swallow, we have to accept that FTL systems have fundamental problems here that go beyond engineering or energetics. But remember, exploration of the galaxy is not impossible without FTL, it just takes a lot longer. It would mean that our efforts to explore space are not about personal gain or egotistical pleasure, but rather are performed in service of the next generation and those beyond that. That as individuals we would act selflessly and as a species in unified common goal. Perhaps then, in the end, no FTL is a blessing in disguise, because it might compel us to work together for the future, for something bigger than ourselves. So, until next time, stay thoughtful and stay curious.
Thank you, Madam Dram, dropping it right in there. Okay, we're going to go to the main. I'm going to take another dab. I'm going to talk about my book a little bit and the club, and then I'm going to call it an evening. We did a good job. Where's my bonbon cam here? There we go. There she is. Oops. We've got a nice chalkboard here. You could still see your name here if you want. If that interests you, send a super chat this way. And I will write your name in cursive, which is technically a dying art form. You know? People aren't learning cursive anymore. So, my machine is talking to me. I hope we had a good time learning about all of this. 1,000 milligrams is a good starting dose for me with edibles. Dang, that's a lot. I'm not there, man. And that's okay with me. That's definitely the guy my 8-year-old nephew'd watch us all the time. So are you trying to say, Liberty Genetics, that I have the same taste as your 8-year-old nephew? Isn't it, Ramona? Isn't she so sweet? So this is the Cannabiotics L'Orange Haze. I don't know if you can see. Let me twirl it this way and try and catch the light. I'll connect it to the device in a second. I can turn this on. Try to light it for you. You know what I'm going to do? I wonder if I can just do this. I just want to show you guys. Sorry if this is huge. I knew it was going to do that. I knew it was going to do that. So here we go. Let me try and get this into focus. Hello. Focus on that. Hello. Maybe it needs more light. There we go. You can see it's pretty nice. The 710 is very nice. Always. This is Cannabiotics. Oops. Vanessa. So See, I don't want to turn it that way. It's away from the light. Maybe this writing is not helping. I'll put it on my legs. Oh, look at Alan. There you go. You can see. Look at Alan sending 10. There's my legs. Make it bigger. Okay, I tried. I can't. Okay, I'll make it here. Let's try and get this to focus on here. And I'll make it bigger. Okay. Then I take this and I go like, I gotta write Alan's name. Okay. Alrighty. Elio, I'm going to do just that. I'm going to write Alan's name. I'm going to take a dab. Boop. Dropped it right in. Put that right on. So that's what I had linked there. If you want me to post it again, I can. This tool, this Yokan blade, very useful. Let me know. Let me write Alan's name down. Alan, there you go. All right, let's do it. Let me go to my app. All things in due time. Everyone needs to have patience. I want to make sure. There we go. Breathe. Here we go. Okay. Thank you, DJ Free Sounds. Okay. Here we go. I have music I can play. I just have to oh wait, I gotta clean this. I just gotta download some songs and then we will do it. You're right, we do need some beats next time. All right, everyone. The link to my club, the Edibles Club, is pinned to the top of this chat. If you want to keep it going, you want to join our Discord. We're going to vote on what we will cook for Saturday. I don't know what to cook. Something savory. So the club's going to decide. That's who's deciding. The club is getting more content. They get Dog Walkers podcast. That is all up on the Edibles Club, my Patreon. That's how all of this started. You can get my cookbook, How to Eat Weed and Have a Good Time. That's out already. It's awesome. People love it. 5 stars all around. It's happening. You know, it's a good time. It delivers what it says it's going to deliver, which is a good time. So at any dose, I will teach you how to cook with cannabis. And if you want free lessons, come hang out on Saturdays, 1:20 p.m. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your week. I'll let you know as soon as I get those the lab testing back. I'll let you know what it says for the honey. We shall see. Here's another source for where you can get my cookbook. Thank you, everyone. We got super chats from Eddie Moretti, Christian Gutierrez, El Fraggle Rock Podhead, Kathy Astrocat, Alan Bernhoft coming in at the last bit of the sesh. I hope you all learned something interesting today. Got to watch a cute little dog take a nap. Got to watch me eat some really yummy kyo-chan fried chicken. Great. And do you have a nice brownie recipe? Yes, Jack Finnegan. There is a great brownie recipe. You don't have to do what I tell you to do in it, which is to swirl it with peanut butter and marshmallow fluff. But I do think it adds something special to them. They're called fudgy, fluffer-nutty brownies, but you can just do it as a regular brownie as well. You could even add some nuts if that's your thing. You know, brownies are versatile. It's all about that base. So you can get that book. Please do get it. It really helps. You know, spread the word. Tell your friends. Tell 3 of your friends about my cookbook. 3 of your friends who you think would like my How to Eat Weed and Have a Good Time cookbook. Also, donate to freedomgrow.org. freedomgrow.org. I am going to be giving away 5 cookbooks on 7/10. So 5 free signed dedicated cookbooks. You can donate any amount. Just donate to freedomgrow.org and then take a screen grab, send me your receipt to info@vanessalaverato.com to be entered in the raffle that will be pulled on 7/10. Okay? So that I will be repeating that throughout until we pull that raffle. Thank you, Madam Dram. Thank you. Will someone join me in the Discord lounge for testing? Oh yeah, we could do it we can do the testing in the Discord lounge and talk about what it finds for the honey. Okay. Cool. All right, everyone, I'm going to run the credits. These are my club members. Thank you so much for this evening. These are my Edible Club members, Edibles Club producers, Madam Dram, Kathy Sachs, Lindsay Gabriel, Core. We have our Bounce for Ounce members, our club members, and we've now opened up the Discord. Winslow has built out the Discord so that it's for all members, but if you want access to the voice video chat on Saturdays after the kitchen sesh, That is for quarter up and higher tiers. Sorry if that was a little bit loud. All right. Thank you so much. Kathy means a test channel tonight real quick. Test the channel. Oh, I see what you're saying. I'm not stoned. You're stoned. I hope you all have a good evening and thank you so much. Remember who you are.